Do you want to meet all the top business schools in one day? Get the free chance to network with their alumni and receive one-on-one consultations? Access MBA on 10th of May in Budapest is the opportunity you were waiting for, together with its online event on 28th of May. And in today's webinar with our 3 guests, we discuss the role of an MBA in boosting people's careers and lives.
The topic for today will be, how does the MBA degree boost your career path and income? Today joining us, we've got Andrea and Christy from the Advent Group as well as Red Recruitment. I'd just like to give a brief introduction on each company, starting with the Advent Group. Advent was established in 2004 and is an independent personalized events and media agency specialized in the higher education sector. Each year, the Access MBA and Access Masters Tours introduce 70,000 potential applicants to over 325 top business schools at almost 200 events. As the worldwide leader in one-to-one events, Advent Group's mission is to increase awareness about the value of business school education through media outreach, as well as to guide potential applicants to the right schools and programs. The Red Recruitment Company is a headhunting and HR management consulting firm specialized in multi-industry permanent placement solutions around the CEE region. Their main verticals are IT, finance and accounting, banking, legal, and sales and marketing. Once again, welcome everybody, and let's start with the questions. The first question is for Christy. What is the key difference between an MBA and a master's program in business and finances?
Thank you for this question. Hello, everyone. I know that a lot of you are probably wondering, should you apply for a master's degree or an MBA? It is really about what inspires you and your intellectual curiosity and the field you want to plug in to make a difference. It's also about the lifestyle that you always dreamed of. It's about you really in a world full of opportunities to learn and grow throughout your life. A business master's and an MBA are both master's level postgraduate degrees. They grant students they're granted to students who have demonstrated a high level of knowledge. However, the programs differ significantly in terms of eligibility, focus, and personal development. There are several main distinctions between the degrees, starting with the fact that master's degrees are designed for candidates who are at the beginning of their career, or for graduates who want a higher level qualification before entering the job market. MBA degrees utilize the professional experience of professionals and peer learning, so applicants have to satisfy MBA requirements of at least 2 years, sometimes 3, of full-time professional experience. This may not apply to some schools in North America, especially in the USA. There are some schools there that may require less work experience after graduations, but in general, MBA applicants need to have at least 2 years. Also, the MBA is a multi-subject degree that covers topics from finance to leadership and technology and marketing, while the business master's is a highly specialized degree that dives deeply into one topic. For example, accounting, management, human resources, information technology, and so on and so on. An MBA degree, though its curriculum of multiple business disciplines, offers a broader view of the business management. For that reason, the MBA degree is a better choice for those whose aspirations are in the field of general management, executive leadership, or entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Christy. Andrea, what are the possible career paths available to someone with an MBA degree?
Thank you, Craig. This is a very interesting question. Actually, as Christy was saying, usually MBA candidate students already are having a job, a professional experience, at least 2-3 years. But in some cases, we see already some bigger and longer background. Usually, we can see where they are coming from, given our daily contact with candidates, especially in executive search, and also where they are ending to. To keep it short, we can say that usually most of them, they have a job in banking, finance, or business consulting. related functions, but at the same time, we can see also some interesting technical profiles who are actually reconsidering their approach to business. They want to know a bit more about the world of analytical skills, finance, and also management skills, especially when they aim to manage people. What we can see as an interesting trend, and we observe also in Central Eastern Europe, for a 25% of graduates, is a complete sector change. It means probably during this experience, the MBA experience, probably they realize that they might have some different preferences in not only in the studies curricula, but also in the professional curricula. So at this stage, I would say definitely an MBA is a good way for them to also better understand have a wider understanding of the business environment, several industries, several sectors, keep in touch with professionals so that at the teaching level are also gonna give them some exposition to these segments. And on the other end, we can see 60–70% in general boosting chances of achieving a C-level role within their future companies. This means specifically usually vertical roles in finance and general management, but also, let's say, in less MBA populated segments like marketing, but also production. Well, we can see actually also a higher incidence, 70–80% of incidence in achieving, let's say, C-level roles, exactly because it's not really trendy yet to get an MBA, and this might be a very, very good differentiating element for candidates.
Thank you, Andrea. Back to Christy. What is the placement statistics of an MBA students in general with regards to salary rates, industries, roles, etc.?
Thank you, Craig. Well, based on my professional background, I have learned that some of the largest factors when considering whether or not to get an MBA are the salary rates, the industries, and career placement after the MBA. Of course, another very important thing often happens to be the return of investment. It is very often spoken about in MBA. Earning your MBA can add tremendous value to your career in several ways. Like you can build in-demand skills, you can expand your network, and it opens doors to new career opportunities. But at the end of the day, you want to be sure that your investment of time and tuition will pay off momentarily. Based on our research, over 91% of MBA students get a placement upon completing the MBA, some of them even before. A lot of the business schools will help you with interviews, networking events, or alumni relationships as well. There's a new MBA return of investment survey of 46 business schools in Europe. Students of 12 institutions were able to double their money or more after completing their MBA program. The average hike in salary seen, meanwhile, is about 85%. Salaries are often determined by the industry choices of the graduates as well. Schools known to send more of their classes to traditionally high-paying industry will inevitably have this reflected on the average earnings. A school potential MBA return of investment, after all, will ultimately come down to the individual and their plans for how they want to use the qualification.
Awesome, excellent. Andrea, what are the salary gaps between MBA graduates and non-MBA graduates in the Central European region?
Yes, we can see more or less the trend that Christy was describing. Actually, it's verifiable also in Central Eastern European region. Obviously, we can see on the market 30–50% different salary ranges. So an increase in salaries if compared to non-MBA graduates. At the same time, we need to remember also that Central and Eastern Europe region are not always having enough businesses to absorb, in terms of corporate businesses, multinational companies, to absorb this level of C-level professionals. So, but we can see definitely a very positive trend of increase. So more and more investments are coming into the country, especially if we talk about Hungary. Obviously, there is usually a more technical background in preference of studies, because these investments are more technical type of investments. But we have also investment banking and consulting, keeping investing in Poland, Czech Republic, and Hungary. And obviously, an MBA is a great point to start a career at a high level in these consulting firms.
Thanks, Andrea. Christy, why do such salary gaps exist based on the different career opportunities between an MBA graduate or a MAS graduate?
Thank you for this question. I actually think that's a great question. On average, the MBA graduate will earn 51% more than a business undergraduate degree would. So there you have already half more than you would already have if you didn't have the MBA. There are a couple of reasons behind that for me. For one thing, the MBA can get you started and making a positive impact in a short period of time. Overall, 9 out of 10 global corporate recruiters say that they're confident in MBA business schools and their ability to prepare students to be successful in their organization. So you already have that trust. And then MBA graduates, they have a versatile skill set that make them extremely attractive to employers. The broad-based and diverse curriculum of the MBA programs allow us a huge spectrum of topics that are relevant in businesses nowadays, and especially in business leadership, and thus making sure MBA students maintain a solid foot in the main concepts that will underpin their career development, not only now, but for decades into the future as well. The MBA program is more focused and practicable than a master's degree, which will also allow you to expand both your theoretical and practical professional experience, making you much more valuable to big companies. Another important distinction I must mention here is the compensation and payment packages, which are different and usually higher for MBA graduates. This may include base salaries, signing bonus, performance bonus, or other benefits as well. Overall, it is within logic that the higher the investment, the higher the return. There's a reason why MBA programs require a bit of a higher investment, but their return is also much higher.
Wonderful, makes sense. Andrea, what is the incidence of MBA education on higher Hungarian candidates from the perspective of an executive search firm?
So we can see in general in Central Eastern Europe a trending increase in the last 5 years, and the pandemic doesn't seem to have stopped this trend. Actually, probably accelerated it. Specifically, we usually looking at the countries in the region, we say that Poland and Czech Republic are let's say in the top position of the list, with around 20-25% incidence. Hungary still is around 10-12% incidence. This means, obviously, as I was saying before, still there is a good trend of preferring this type of education, preferring technical education to this type of education, because obviously the business environment probably requires it. But we can see several investment banks, share service centers requiring a very fine-tuned analytical skills, finance-oriented know-how, P&L management in many cases, project management in business in many cases. So slowly this is coming as a good requirement to have if you actually want to be a prepared leader manager for the future. At the same time, fintech, that is a mix of the two, is absolutely trying to absorb either technical knowledge that was already present in the past, but also a very, very strong business and administration knowledge that is usually given in MBAs. So MBAs are definitely the right direction to take in your education nowadays if you are looking for a next step in your career.
Thank you, Andrea. Last question for Christy. How would one choose an MBA business school?
As a part of the Advent Group family, I get that question a lot. I always have the same answer. Like, each MBA applicant pursues a business education for different reasons. While some may be driven by the desire to start their own business, others might want to work in an international business setting or just advance their careers. Regardless of the reasons, students believe that earning an MBA will help them achieve their professional goals. And among other reasons, individuals consider that the MBA is worthy for is earning potential, professional networking, leadership roles in a targeted industry, professional development, change of career. What I think here is that prior to making any decisions, degree seekers should make a plan that suits their skills, academic talents, and career goals. What should be taken into consideration when choosing your MBA future is accreditation of the MBA programs, their admission criteria, program length, program schedule, even location. First, consider all of those factors, everything that is important to you and what is most important, of course. Consider those factors to determine which schools are a match. Then you can narrow down your top MBA program choices for the best option. And of course, to help you in your journey, like there are companies like Advent Group that we have been organizing educational events for over 15 years. So you can get a little help as well. And you can join us in Budapest on May 10th or come online to our Eastern European region fair that is going to be on the 28th of May.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Andrea and Christy, for joining us in this discussion. And to all our viewers, I just once again like to invite you to join the Access MBA event on the 10th of May at the Corinthia Hotel in Budapest, or alternatively online on the 28th of May 2022. Thank you very much.
We'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, cheers.
Do you want to meet all the top business schools in one day? Get the free chance to network with their alumni and receive one-on-one consultations? Access MBA on 10th of May in Budapest is the opportunity you were waiting for, together with its online event on 28th of May.